Peace, YouTube. It is Coach Jessica. I'm back with another video installment, but guess what? I have gotten a lot of requests for the Wife 101 series, so we are going to begin that. Actually, immediately following this video, you will see an upload from the Wife 101 series. So thank you for giving me that feedback. I'm excited that the things I'm thinking about are the things that you're thinking about. But today, right this minute, I'd like to focus on some viewer questions that I have that I want to address before we get to the series. And they actually are very related to what we will be discussing during the series. So this is perfect timing. So thank you to my lovely subscribers for asking these questions. The first question, I think I'm going to skip over. I'm going to read the question, but I'm going to skip over giving the answer immediately because the questions that follow really do answer or speak to that question. So I don't want to be repetitive. What do you do when the sex was better before marriage, and why is that? One of the things that I have not really talked a lot about on the Coach Jessica show is sex in a relationship. And I'm not really sure why. There haven't really been a lot of questions, but absolutely it's a major part of any close relationship, especially a marriage. Question 2, why is the ex always on your mind? So we all know that women operate different than men. Sex for women more has to do with where they are mentally, how they're feeling, their emotions that are involved. Men are very different in that they don't need to be emotionally attached to anything, really. They can have sex. The act of sex is not a mind thing. It's not a thought thing. And now it can be. Instinctually, men weren't built that way. So absolutely, when a man is with a woman that he loves, there are emotions that are involved, feelings that are involved, in thoughts that are involved that evolve from the beginning of just needing to satisfy the needs. So I'm not saying that men are without feelings, because they do have them. But women, on the other hand, are instinctually inclined to need to have their minds in the right place in order to perform, so to speak. I'm going to go back to the first question, which is, what do you do when the sex is better before the marriage? Well, if the ex is the thing that's always on your mind, it's going to be very difficult for you to focus on your husband and getting pleasure from him or pleasing him, because your mind is someplace else. So you have to think about how you actually operate if you want to be in that kind of intimate position with a person. You are not typically capable of having your mind over here and being able to physically do something else over here. We do multitask well, but not in the bedroom. Number 3, what do you do when one spouse is more physically attractive than the other? And I'm actually going to go into this further in one of my series topic discussions. But this is par for the course. When you marry somebody, you're not marrying them for the way they look. Absolutely, it plays a role, because you would have never been attracted enough to propose to that person or accept that person's proposal. However, I need there to be something beyond the physical appearance that draws you into who they are and allows you to see that there's more to staying in that relationship than how that person looks. Now, I'm not getting from this viewer that they're saying I'm going to leave because I'm not physically attracted. She seems to be asking for just some advice about, I guess, what do you do with your brain when you look at your spouse and he's just not Denzel? So that's when the other part of why you got married kicks in. The respect, the admiration, the thing that he does for you that no one else can, the way he takes care of you, the way he takes care of your children. Those things, you have to pay more attention to keep you attracted to that person. Now, yes, this absolutely is a job, but there are times where you just kind of have to fight through the urge to wish that the other person was cut up, from the butt up. What do you do when cheating is constantly on your mind? Okay, there are a couple of things wrong with this question. Why is cheating constantly on your mind? Is it because you are physically no longer attracted to this person? Is it because you all aren't communicating well enough for you to express how you're really feeling, and thus, there's your relationship has gone adrift? I'm not sure why, but any way you slice it, that can be fixed, but don't underestimate the power of your mind. You have to get control of your mind, because it will take you to some crazy places. There's nothing wrong with feeling some type of way about, how the other person looks, or how they do or don't communicate with you. However, there's a certain amount of responsibility that you have once you marry somebody, to address these issues as they come, so that they don't grow into these massive problems. And if you're at a point where cheating is constantly on your brain, that is telling me that you're not addressing what your actual need is, or that person isn't addressing what the need is. It's leaving the door open for, and you don't do this, and you don't do that, and you fat. My advice to you is really to pay attention on the micro level to the things that are going on, so that they don't turn into ridiculousness. And finally, how do you keep yourself pleased when your spouse can't do it for you, either physically or for emotional reasons? Okay. Yeah, I remember that movie, I think it was Jerry Maguire, where the girl looked into Tom Cruise. The girl looked into the guy's eyes and said, "He'll complete me." And everybody melted and cried and thought it was a beautiful moment. Well, I thought it was a real stupid moment, because no one can complete you. The closer that all parties are to 100%, the more equal the load will be, and the easier it will be to function as a unit. Sometimes, again, our mind can take us to crazy places. You could totally be going left here with what it means to be pleased. I have women, in my practice, that come in and they're like, well, if he would just pick up the socks and help me with the dishes, then all things are good, but you're on the verge of talking about divorce. If everything would be all good if he would wash dishes, yet you're considering divorce. Those two things are not equal. And I think that when we allow our minds to tell us that the things that we want are just simply justified because we want them, I think we're doing ourselves a disservice. You have to look deeper into why you want certain things. And then if it's rational, or if it's relevant to the growth of your relationship, then absolutely it needs to be explored and communicated to your spouse. There are areas where we're being totally crazy and just wanting things that, would be nice, that in an ideal situation are great, but they don't necessarily do anything for us, as far as moving our relationship forward. Because you picking up your socks has nothing to do with how well you provide, how you make me feel, how you raise our children. Those things are not related. So I think it's a good idea to make sure that you put each thing in the right box, and then address each of them accordingly. All right, that's it for the viewer questions today. Please stay tuned, because the Wife 101 series is coming like right now. Yes, wife does mean that it is geared to women, married women. However, if you are not married but aspire to be married, you are looking, or you are engaged, or you are, you and your boyfriend are going in that direction, and you see yourself there in a year or 2 years or whatever, you know that being a wife is in your future at some point. Please do watch these videos that are coming. Please forward them to women that you know. And also men, please do watch those as well, because there's nothing wrong with a fact checker every now and again. If I'm on point, please, I'd like to see video responses, as well as just hear your thoughts about what it is that I'm communicating to these ladies that you're going to be marrying. Okay? All right, guys, it was great to see you again, and I'll see you really soon. I love you. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and pass these videos on. And I'm going to remember who my first subscribers were when I'm famous. Love you. See you next time. Bye-bye.